What's up guys, it's me Jeremy. So we're going to be doing something a little bit different today with a video that is not going to be about League of Legends. Out of all the games that has stood the test of time, probably the most iconic of them all is RuneScape. Created in 2001, this legendary MMO by Jagex has had over 250 million accounts created since its release, and to this day still has an active, healthy, and growing player base. And throughout time, the developers have done a lot of things right, and some not so much. But there's one thing the game truly succeeds at from a game design perspective that has allowed it, at least in my mind, to truly stand the test of time. RuneScape as a game succeeds at making grinding fun. Whether you are playing the modernized RuneScape 3 or the classic OG old school RuneScape, we're going to be referring to both games in this video together hand in hand as simply just RuneScape, since pretty much all of our talking points apply to both games equally. Hundreds of massively multiplayer online games have come and gone, and the biggest fault that these forgotten and unplayed games typically have is that they fail to make their long-form gameplay interesting. The gameplay often consists of killing 6 wolves to level up, so that you can go on to kill 6 more wolves in a new area, gain some more levels, and kill some more wolves until you get bored and uninstall. Grinding is and always will be a gigantic part of the MMO genre as a whole, and so that aspect is generally what defines the gameplay of an MMO itself. And making grinding fun, at least on the game design side of things, is the #1 thing that has contributed to the long-term success of the game as a whole. Sure, Jagex has done a ton of other things that also contributed heavily to RuneScape's long-term success, but from specifically a gameplay perspective, making their grinding elements fun is what allowed the game to last longer than the lifetime of some of the people watching this video. There's quite a few ways that RuneScape accomplishes this incredible feat, and it's the culmination of all of these things together that has made the game design very successful. In RuneScape, you as a player are given complete control over what to do. Because things are based on individual skills and defined quests and stuff like that, a player has infinitely more opportunities and choices than you would expect in a more traditional MMO environment where you start at level 1 in the starting zone that you stay in from level 1 to 10, and then you move on to the next zone from level 10 to 20, and so on. In RuneScape, there's no set path, no strict leveling zones or areas. The entire world and every part of it is open to you in some way, shape, or form. Right off the bat, you get to choose what you want to grind at, set your own goals, and that level of control gives a lot more interest to the repetitive elements, since you never really feel like you're forced to do something. This introduction of choice already does a ton to make grinding feel less like a chore, and much more so like you're working towards your own set goal. Although repetitive grinding is a massive part of RuneScape for sure, it never really feels like it's forced on you the way the leveling grind might be in a more traditional MMO where you gain experience, level up, and eventually hit the overall level cap to finally be able to experience the more interesting endgame content. As well, RuneScape does a pretty solid job at giving you meaningful, significant rewards once you're at the end of your grind. Although the grinding aspects can definitely get tedious, you're always met at the end with a satisfying payoff. It leaves you feeling like you worked hard on a project and ended up with something pretty awesome, which is a feeling that can be quite hard to come by, and not only just in gaming. It does an awesome job of giving you incredible satisfaction upon accomplishing a goal, be it by giving you an epic item, unlocking this new and exclusive zone, or maybe gaining access to a new piece of gameplay. Very rarely does a grind in RuneScape to obtain something feel like a waste once you are actually done with it. And by giving you this good feeling of accomplishment, you're always left at the end feeling like the grind was worth it, and you're excited to start on the next one. And another aspect that RuneScape introduces as well is that they typically add in some sort of amount of randomness to the repetitive and less interesting elements. There's loads of random stuff in the game set up to where you might be grinding for an hour or so and hey, here's this random extra bonus reward for no reason at all, or maybe you randomly get some extra experience or this nice little free item or a rare drop, or if you're extremely lucky, one of the coveted rare pets. By introducing these random rewards to the repetitive aspects of gameplay, things are kept a little bit more interesting. Along the way to your epic reward at the end, you're bound to stumble upon some nice little bonuses, and there's also a very slim chance of getting something that is super rare and just as awesome. This randomness allows the repetitive gameplay to actually have moments that are different, and allow the entire process to feel just a little bit less repetitive overall, enough to be not so bored along the way to reaching your goal. And this cycle of pacing between repetitive grind session to a meaningful reward, mixed in with some random elements, all while keeping the grind under the control of the player entirely, allows you to always be reaching for your next goal and for things to just not get as dull along the way. Although Jagex is often praised for their heavy community involvement, consistent updates, and constant improvements to RuneScape, the game design is an aspect that goes quite underappreciated, and overall has contributed a lot more than you might think to its long-term success, and it's a great game to take inspiration from for MMO game design. Now, I know it wasn't a League of Legends video today, but I do want to try and make more of these sort of video essay type things about design for games as a whole, and RuneScape is a game that I've played since elementary school and still kind of do to this day, so I felt it was a great place to start with this type of content. So let me know what you guys thought of this video, and I'll see you guys next time.